Arnold Palmer died the most tragic death, and the lies surrounding his final years reveal a darker story than most people know. The man known worldwide as the King of Golf passed away on September 25, 2016, at age 87 while waiting for heart surgery. But the real tragedy wasn't just his death. It was how his final decades were marked by loss, pain, and struggles that the golf world tried to hide. Most fans remember Palmer as the charming golfer who made the sport popular on TV. They think of his famous drink and his army of loyal fans. But behind that smile was a man who faced more heartbreak than most people could handle. Arnold Palmer was born on September 10, 1929, in a small steel town in Pennsylvania. His father worked as both a greenskeeper and golf teacher at the local country club. Young Arnold got his first golf club when he was just 3 years old. By age 5, he was playing full rounds of golf. By 9, he could shoot 45 for 9 holes. But even as a child, Palmer faced hardship. His family was poor and couldn't afford new golf clubs. Arnold had to fix old, broken clubs by himself. He learned early that nothing would come easy in life. When he threw a club in anger during a junior match, his father threatened to ban him from golf forever. This harsh lesson shaped Palmer's character, but also created pressure to hide his emotions. Palmer's college years brought the first real tragedy. At Wake Forest University, his close friend and roommate, Bud Worsham, died in a car accident in 1950. The loss hit Palmer so hard that he left college and joined the Coast Guard for 3 years. Even during military service, he couldn't escape his pain. He built a 9-hole golf course just to keep his mind busy. Palmer turned professional in 1954 and quickly became famous for his wild, risky style of play. He would take shots that other golfers wouldn't dare try. His swing looked awkward and wrong, but critics said it would never last. Golf legend Gene Sarazen doubted Palmer's long-term success because of his swing faults. These early doubts followed Palmer throughout his career. The media called his fans Arnie's Army because they followed him around golf courses like soldiers. Palmer became the first golf superstar in the television age. His good looks and exciting play made golf popular with regular people, not just rich country club members. But this fame came with a heavy price, constant pressure to perform and maintain his image. Palmer won 7 major championships during his career. He won the Masters 4 times, the US Open once, and the British Open twice. But here's where the tragedy begins. He never won the PGA Championship. He came close 3 times, finishing second in 1964, 1968, and 1970. That missing 4th major haunted him for the rest of his life. Palmer's failure to win the PGA Championship meant he never completed the career Grand Slam. For a man who seemed to win everything else, this one missing piece ate at him. Golf experts still debate whether Palmer's aggressive style cost him that final major. His go-for-broke approach won him fans but may have lost him his greatest prize. This failure humanized Palmer, but also deepened his inner struggles with perfectionism. The 1960s brought Palmer fame and fortune, but also the beginning of his health problems. The stress of constant travel and competition took its toll on his body. Palmer smoked cigarettes regularly, which would later contribute to his health issues. The pressure to maintain his image as the king never let up. Every public appearance required him to be charming and confident, even when he felt neither. Palmer's business success came with its own problems. His partnership with sports agent Mark McCormick made him rich, but it also turned him into a brand instead of just a person. Everything Palmer did had to protect his image. He couldn't show weakness or admit when he was struggling. The famous Arnold Palmer drink became more famous than some of his golf victories, which bothered him privately. His golf course design company created over 300 layouts worldwide. But Palmer often complained that developers cared more about profits than his design philosophy. Many courses bearing his name didn't meet his standards, diluting his legacy in ways that frustrated him greatly. Speaking of watching golf and supporting the legends who built this sport, you can catch all the major tournaments live with Fubo. Whether it's the Masters that Palmer won 4 times or the PGA Championship that always escaped him, Fubo gives you access to every shot, every moment of drama that made golf the sport we love today. Don't miss the action that Palmer helped create. Check out FUBO and see why millions of fans trust it for their sports viewing. The 1980s and 1990s brought more heartbreak to Palmer's life. His golf game declined as he aged, but he kept playing long past his prime. Watching Palmer struggle on courses where he once dominated was painful for fans who remembered his glory days. He finished last in several tournaments, embarrassing himself and disappointing his army of supporters. Palmer's pride prevented him from retiring gracefully. He continued playing the Masters until 2004, often missing the cut and looking foolish compared to younger players. His stubborn refusal to accept his limitations became a source of ridicule among some golf critics. In 1998, Palmer received devastating news. He had prostate cancer. At age 70, the king faced his biggest battle yet. The cancer diagnosis forced him to confront his own mortality. Palmer underwent surgery and treatment, using his fame to raise awareness about the disease. But the cancer battle changed him. Friends said he was never quite the same after his diagnosis. The worst tragedy came in November 1999 when Palmer's wife Winnie died from cancer. They had been married for 45 years. Winnie's death left Palmer completely broken. She had been his constant companion through all his triumphs and failures. Without her, Palmer seemed lost and alone. He often spoke about wanting to join her, which worried his close friends. Palmer remarried in 2005 to Kathleen Gawthrop, but those who knew him said he never fully recovered from losing Winnie. The man who once charged up fairways with confidence now moved slowly and seemed tired all the time. His second marriage, while providing companionship, couldn't replace what he had lost. Palmer's final years were marked by more health scares. His heart problems got worse as he aged. He had to stop playing competitive golf in 2006, ending a career that had lasted over 50 years. For a man who lived for competition, retirement felt like another kind of death. He struggled with depression and often seemed confused during public appearances. Palmer made his last public appearance at the 2016 Masters tournament in April. Those who saw him said he looked frail and tired. His famous smile was still there, but it seemed forced. He could barely walk without assistance, and his hands shook constantly. 5 months later, he was gone. On September 25th, 2016, Palmer went to the hospital for what was supposed to be routine heart surgery. Instead, he died while waiting for the operation. His death shocked the golf world, but those close to him weren't surprised. Palmer's body had been failing for years, and he had lost the will to fight. The tragedy of Arnold Palmer's death wasn't just that he died. It was how he spent his final years. The man who once had everything slowly lost the things that mattered most. His health, his wife, his ability to play the game he loved, all gone. Palmer died not as the king, but as a lonely, sick old man whose best days were far behind him. The golf world mourned Palmer's death, but they focused on his achievements instead of his suffering. They talked about his 7 majors and his business empire. They ignored the pain and loss that defined his later years. This is the lie, that Palmer's story had a happy ending when the truth is much sadder. Arnold Palmer's legacy lives on through his tournament, his drink, and his hospitals. But the real Arnold Palmer, the man who struggled with failure, disease, and loss, remains hidden behind the myth of the king. His tragic death was just the final chapter in a story that had been heartbreaking for much longer than anyone wanted to admit.